Hello and welcome to the 5th episode of How to Ion. I will be covering tips and tricks to help us, but first of all help you become a better driver. In this video I'll be explaining tire wear as well as how it affects your car, and I will also do a track analysis for the Great Britain track. But before we get into our question of the day, I just want to say a massive thank you for the support I've been seeing on these videos. It really motivates me to keep going. I would also like to note that many of you guys who watch these videos are not even subbed. So if you want to support me and get notified when I post something new, then go ahead and subscribe. It's literally free. Now without further ado, let's get right into our question of the day. Our question of the day today comes from a couple of people, but the only comment I could find was from Alex Plays, who says, I wear too much my front tires. I want some tips to improve on that. Well, first of all, I am glad that you asked that question, and if you guys have questions, don't be afraid to leave them in the comments below, because I might just answer you directly instead of putting you in a video. So back to our question. Before I can help you learn how to save your tires in Ion Formula Racing 2020, I need you to at least know how tire wear works in real life. If you don't, then make sure to check out Chainbear's video about tire wear. It will be the first link in the description below. Now with that out of the way, in IFR your tires wear out faster due to the forces you apply on them. For example, if you are just steering normally, your front tires are gonna experience some sort of force, but let's say you are steering normally and accelerating, then your tires will be under the influence of many forces, which are the force pushing the car forward, the steering forces, and the friction from the ground. But how most people wear out their front tires is by locking up. You might think it's not actually a thing in the game, because you can't see the smoke or flat spots, but in the game, if you are braking and trying to steer at the same time, then your car won't turn as much and it will cause a lot of tire wear. You can tell this is happening by looking at the tire wear indicator on the right of your screen. When it becomes more red, that means your tires are experiencing intense forces and causing them to degrade more. And the way you can tell where your tire wear is at is by seeing how much each tire is filled up. For your rear tires, they usually degrade less, but you can easily make them degrade more by spinning a lot or doing donuts. I usually pitch earlier if my rear tires have more wear, because oversteer is much harder to control than understeer. But I hope that answers you guys' question, and let's get right into our track analysis. So welcome to the track analysis or track guide for the Great Britain track in Ion Formula Racing 2020. As you can see, I have the E-Spirit, the power is 7.1, I don't have any other upgrades. I currently have 3.7 million, which is enough to buy the Racing Point, which is the most valuable car in terms of upgrades. Although I was considering saving my money for a Ferrari, mainly for the livery. It's not worth it since it's 10 million and very bad upgrades. But I really want it for the livery. But you guys let me know down below in the comments if you want me to buy a Racing Point or save for the Ferrari. But for now, I'm gonna use my E-Spirit and I'm gonna run a 5.4 setup for now. You can do 6.5 if your car is too unstable, but I'm gonna do 5.4 with soft tires. So here we are at the start, and we're ready to start our lap. So you're gonna be coming from the final corner at a very high speed, and you're just gonna be going very fast through the start-finish straight, like this. So for this first corner, it depends on what your aero setup is, but I'd say just after you cross the finish line, so somewhere around here, you would start turning in. No braking and no letting go of the throttle, unless if your car, like if your front tires are very weared out and you have low grip at the front, then I'd recommend letting go of the throttle. But if they aren't and you have decent grip, then you should just turn here with full throttle and try to stick to the inside as much as possible here. And for this corner, you're gonna start braking at around the 100-meter mark. You need to get a very good line here so you can get a decent exit. So start braking around here, and then around the 50-meter mark or just after it, you're gonna start turning in. try to touch this apex perfectly and just throttle it here and just go wide and keep a lot of speed. Don't brake or anything. And so when you go wide, don't go all the way, but just come back here, try to find a very nice line and go and touch this inside curb here, and launch your car straight through here. So find a line that touches this curb and touches the other one, and it's just one straight line like this, so you don't turn and lose a lot of speed. And just stay like that, and then turn and go as wide as possible here and start turning into the right as much as possible. So for this corner, it's very important because there is a very long straight after it. So for here, and it's very easy to lock up here and mess up your tires. So you need to start braking at around the 100-meter mark. Try to get your car in around this direction, and just brake straight forward like this. And when you get a very nice angle and speed, you should be able to turn here and just touch this apex nicely without going wide here, and also gather in as much speed as possible. Because if you go wide here, you're gonna touch either the sand behind me and maybe spin out, or these sausage curbs which were put here because a lot of people go here, and they're very brutal. So your exit really matters in that corner, so try to take it perfectly while also keeping as much speed as possible. So once you leave that corner, full throttle, open DRS and deploy ERS here, okay? And it's basically just a long straight. I let go of the ERS around here, and for this corner I start braking at around the 100-meter mark. I'd say if you're not making this corner perfectly, you're going wide, brake just before the 100-meter mark, okay? And or increase your front downforce. So here I'm going braking, and then I'm turning in and trying to touch this inside apex, okay? And try to avoid going wide here. You just go to the left a little bit and then come back to the right as fast as possible to get ready for the next corner, which is very important. So for this corner, you stick to the left and start braking. Once you're at the perfect speed and position, you can start turning in very nicely, touch this inside curb, launch your car in this direction and just touch this inside curb on the right, and just go all the way to the left here. You can go over the white lines if you want, and then for this corner you're gonna be full speed. Try to put your car in the best position as possible. You just turn in with full speed, you almost touch this inside curb, you go there and you enable DRS and ERS. And for the corner that's after it, it's very crucial to do this perfectly, because it's gonna either gain you a lot of time or lose you a lot of time. And you can easily lock up in this corner as well, because you can see it's like curved to the right. It's not like a straightforward corner. So for here, your braking needs to be straight as well. So I'd say start braking around here in a straight position. Try to get your car in this position and start braking. And once you're in a good enough speed, you want to make your apex this part. This should be your apex, okay? You should be aiming to get your car in that position so you can throttle fully without hitting the wall, and you can just go wide here, touch that curb, stay in the middle. Now you're to the right and move to the right here. And for this corner you just brake all the way to the right and then come around and full throttle, and then go all the way to a little bit to the right and then back to the left. You can brake a little bit here or let go of the throttle, and that's a lap around Great Britain. Now I'm gonna let you watch a lap that Seva did. He is the previous main driver for Lotus, so enjoy that. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. If you made it to the end, make sure to like the video and subscribe. I hope it helped you learn something new about the game, and goodbye.